So you have probably seen a dashboard just like this, and this is just a Google search for them. And they're all pretty much the same thing. You have like some topics, and they're going to tell you, hey, this topic has become a bigger issue over the last 3 weeks than it was the last 4 weeks. But then you go back the next week, and for some reason, it's the same topics, it's the same insights, it's the same everything. And the reason why is a really simple question is, how are they getting those answers? How are they looking up those answers? Traditional ML, they might just extract topics and kind of cluster those together. But then with new types of AI and GPTs, we have things like retrieval on embeddings and RAG and vector searches. And you might think that this must be a much, much better ability to generate these reports. And you're not wrong if you're asking specific questions. So if you wanted to ask a question like, what was the customer complaint last week that John had for this issue, or something akin to that, it would probably give you a pretty good answer. But if you wanted to go back 3 weeks and say, well, what were the top issues? What types of problems were we experiencing at a whole? And most importantly, you don't want the same insight every single week. And I cannot emphasize that enough. You really don't want to have this kind of unnormalized data. And what I mean by normalized data is, if you are a growing company, and let's say you're growing 10% month over month, which is a phenomenal growth rate for most companies, you're going to get 10% of the same exact top feedback every single month, right? Because the same complaints are always going to be there. You're always going to have people complaining about billing or login or other types of issues that are just common for any B2B SaaS, for any SaaS in general. And so every single month you're going to come back and you're going to be like, is this actually useful? Not really. Like, it's the same exact thing that you were seeing. So how do you solve this problem? Well, you need to first create a proprietary data set that understands the nuance of your products and services in your company. And then second, you need to be able to not do a vector DB or embeddings, because that doesn't give you those types of novel insights that you typically would have, because you need to normalize the data. You need to say, I am growing 30%. Quarter over quarter or month over month. And I don't want, even though the feedback volume is climbing for a specific topic, it needs to be normalized. I need to be able to see that normalized. So I'll show you what that looks like in Build Better. We just launched this new experience. This is kind of our reportings, our digest. And what we've done is we created these incredible clusters. So you can see here, integration, usability, and feature requests, automation on onboarding. And for your organization, it would be independent. You'll have your own types of clusters, your own type of feedback. But what you're not seeing here is login issues, billing problems, the things that every product is going to have. And what you're seeing when I dive in here is you'll see these spikes. So this is the unnormalized data. This is what you'll typically get in a customer success dashboard, where you're like, oh my God, 15 people just requested this. Oh my God, 18 people requested this. But you see here how we've, over the course of that week, we normalized it. This became not a big insight anymore, because we historically were already getting that similar type of volume. This is actually a really hard problem to solve, but it's the difference between getting good novel insights and not. And we even go through all of that data, and we understand what your product and services are. We understand the difference between you, a competitor, a feature request, an issue, a problem. If someone's complaining about the weather on a sales call, you don't care about that, so we don't include it. So we're really, really good about understanding that nuance of your products and services, so that when you read this, every single thing is really helpful and really useful. Same thing with the key insights, root cause analysis, business impact, impacted customers. We have customer quotes that bring you straight to those signals. We even have recommended actions. And most importantly, you can even go through all of the raw data and be able to chat with it or even add it to a folder. Now, this is what customers, and this is what your product team, your sales team, your go-to-market team, your marketing team, every single part of your company needs a report like this that actually tells them, well, what are those complaints? What type of problems are our customers actually having that's new and insightful and novel? And every single week, you can get these types of reports in your inbox over email every day, every week, every month, and they will come back to you with novel, interesting insights every single time. And most importantly, this data set that we've been building for the last 5 years on top of customer data and on top of your internal meetings and your calls allows us to do things that just no other company can. And of course, all of this is secure. We never use your data for training. We never use your data for anything external. It's your data. You keep it. It's on your client. It's in your service. And of course, if you ever choose to leave Build Better, we give it back to you. It is an incredible experience. You just have to see it with your own data, your own two eyes. And I know that you will love these types of reports from these digests, from these clusterings that we're generating for you. And we have so many cooler ones coming out very, very soon. I'll see you on the other side.